Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Golden Nuggets podcast. My name is Nazreen. I have Anafi beside me.
Hello.
And Ami. Main host, not main guest. Main guest, I'll introduce in a short while. So as you can see, we are slightly in a different setting. This is our new studio. And we are proud to actually introduce our very first guest. Okay, I'm looking at his Instagram right now.
In this new space, right?
Instagram,
Instagram, I've known him for quite a while.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
When?
Since he was still training for the whole
I do that.
acting.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I forgot I knew you from way back.
Way back.
So based on his profile, he's a renovation specialist, debt consultant,
Actor.
MC and actor.
Yeah. A man of multiple talents. Let me present to you Erwin Shah Dawson.
Welcome to the Golden Nuggets podcast.
Erwin Shah Evan Dawson.
Wait, full name.
Nak kena ada Muhammad bro. Tu berkat bro. Muhammad Erwin Shah Evan Dawson.
Awesome. 5 nama So your child will be
Tak bro, jangan cakap child bro. Aku nak fill up tu OTAS time O-level tu.
Panjang
Betul-betul sampai the last box bro aku punya end.
Right.
Shading. Orang dah start, aku masih tengah shading. Sibuk lambat.
So your kids macam mana saya gitu?
Is it going to be the same? Sama?
I don't know.
Because I pity my child lah. Because nama dia orang is my first one is Nadine Amira binti Amir Bashiruddin.
Oi.
So it's also quite long lah kan. So I don't know whether nak kena taruh at Nadine Amira binti Amir tu je.
Wah, I don't know man.
Kalau nak full name?
Full name how?
I don't know Never mind, that one not my problem. That one is her problem. She need to navigate some problems in her life also by herself.
Early childhood training.
Yeah. So Erwin,
Yeah.
why are you so handsome, Jay?
Terus.
Well, I don't know how to answer bro.
Because like a good looking person wins 50% of the battle already.
Yeah,
Agree?
I have to say something You know macam This is not bragging, but memang since aku entered the entertainment line, maybe because of the whole mixed look lah. You know, so generally people will say, kau handsome, you know, but aku until today don't see it bro.
Come on.
No, legit.
Rezeki.
Legit. Aku tengok cermin, aku macam Mr. Bean pun ada. But you know, okay lah, orang dah cakap Alhamdulillah, Allahumma barik. It's not mine, it's Tuhan punya. Aku pinjam aja, so okay lah.
I see. Okay,
Yeah.
so you're handsome because you're mixed lah.
I don't know bro. I don't even know. Aku rasa it's
Masih nak tahu ni.
Aku rasa it's just a stereotype. Kau mix saja kira kau handsome lah.
Okay, for the audience
Depends
mistake, what kind of mix are you?
Yeah, just share with us.
Kiwi Malay.
Kiwi Malay. Okay, so for those who don't know what's kiwi, because they may think kiwi is a fruit.
Anzac kan?
Yeah, it's actually
Let him answer lah.
Okay.
It's the European, the whites of New Zealand lah basically.
I see.
So kalau generation wise, I'm a descendant of a German punya bloodline.
Wow.
Oh,
Yeah.
German.
how do you track this?
Yeah.
Okay, because
23.
aku have a relative that has this Facebook group.
Okay.
So diorang macam got all their lineage lah. So aku nampak they go back berapa generation tau. Like they have a whole list tau.
Yeah.
And there was once aku tengok, aku terus macam wah. Kau tahu asal?
Why?
Aku backtrack. There is one lineage many generation above me is Queen Victoria bukan Victoria. Victoria aku tak ingat lah.
Victoria is German lah.
Tapi of Hanover, Hannover.
Yeah.
So aku macam
Hanover,
aku
okay.
royal bloodline lah.
Wow.
Tapi nobody knows who they are lah. So forget it lah.
Yeah.
Okay lah. So that's why he handsome lah bro.
Maybe
Okay. So that concludes lah.
Loyalty
Tapi gambar-gambar lama diorang aku tengok
Rabak
tak handsome sah diorang. Aku tengok tak lawa tak handsome. Kira macam very typical white zaman dark ages punya muka.
Oh, yes.
Sebab dah campur Melayu bro, jadi that's why handsome.
Asal Melayu punya time.
Shout out to Melayu, everyone Melayu.
Okay, so do you macam cakap like because you look up like your past generation and everything like, but do you personally know who your direct perhaps your parents are semua?
Aku only met my dad once lah.
Okay.
When I was 24. Yeah, you know what I mean? They separated on good terms because my mom didn't want to migrate lah. So he was in the military.
Okay.
You know,
Okay.
so he was in Diep barracks.
So your dad was I mean is still staying in New Zealand, is it?
He's now in Australia.
Oh, he's on. Okay.
Yeah. So my mom knew him when he was based in Singapore because he was in the military and dekat Diep barracks lah kat Sembawang sana. So when he got a bit of temporary paralysis waist down because he parachute salah landing.
Lama.
Yeah, so he has no purpose in Singapore. The government took him back lah kan.
Okay.
My mom didn't want to migrate, so they split off on good terms. Tapi dulu tak ada all this Facebook right.
Yeah.
So the moment you lose their address, you pretty much lose every
That's
contact.
it.
So lepas tu kita shifted house. So I think he ever mentioned he did try to come down to Singapore once.
Okay.
He couldn't find me. And aku when I was 15, I went to Ngee Ann dekat New Zealand Embassy.
Okay.
So I gave him whatever details I have. Diorang cakap they cannot help because privacy matters.
Right.
I cakap I'm his son what, you know. So don't cannot help. So aku dah macam wah, embassy pun tak boleh tolong kan. I gave up the idea of getting my dad lah.
Okay.
So when I was 17, 18, okay, I've been working at Grand Hyatt since I was 16.
Hotel.
So hotel, yeah. So when this was before NS lah. So there was one time my friend needed manpower dekat Grand Copthorne Waterfront at this Cafe
Bugis.
Brio. Diorang punya dekat belakang Zouk lah.
Okay.
Oh, Grand Captain lah.
Grand
Grand
Copthorne
Copthorne.
Zouk lah.
Kat Waterfront, yeah. So
senang kata Zouk
belakang
lah.
Zouk lah. Yeah. So I had to cover one of his manpower punya shift for this Cafe Brio lah. Then I was serving this very old New Zealand couple, like retired lah. Then diorang nampak aku, habis I'm quite good at customer service. So diorang macam compliment. Habis dia cakap, can we ask like why you don't look local lah?
Okay.
So aku explain, aku cakap my dad is Kiwi. Habis dia cakap, oh we are Kiwi, you know, we are from New
Oh,
Zealand.
sama.
Terus aku macam, dia tengok aku macam dia kesian. Oh, you never met your dad. Dia macam very empathetic.
Oh, tu boleh connect
Habis aku macam, aku don't feel anything. I don't miss anything about my dad. Because I
Because
don't remember.
you don't even see.
I don't remember anything. Out of sight, out of mind kan.
Yeah.
Right.
But they were so kesian. So don't kesiankan aku sangat. Then dia cakap, just give me whatever details you have about your dad. So I have a photo and this particular cert lah on his names and all right. Then aku didn't think so much, you know.
Oh, you gave them the details.
Yeah, printed it out lah. They requested. Aku cakap, okay lah, layankan lah.
Wow.
Bro,
Okay.
2 weeks later, bro, they sent me a letter.
Wow.
They found my dad, bro. 2 weeks, bro.
Interesting.
Serious ah.
Yeah, and apparently because one of the retired couple ni, he was a ex-dean of a university somewhere.
Okay.
So apparently maybe he has contacts lah kan. Then cari-cari jumpa, but we didn't. There's thousands of Erwin Dawson, bro. So got the number. I let my mom speak to him first because they would know each other.
Yalah.
Oh, turns out it was him.
Ah.
Then I was about 17, 18 when this happened.
Yeah.
And but I could never afford to go to New Zealand at that time. So aku went to so you see the arrangement of how I got in touch with him is so amazing. Pasal I only covered Grand Copthorne for about a week or two.
Yeah.
Just to meet this couple who helped me find my dad. And we got in touch, but we could never afford to meet each other. Then I went to my first acting gig kat Malaysia was required to shoot dekat Australia.
Oh.
So
Jumpa dia.
so aku text dia, aku cakap, is New Zealand and Australia far for you? Like, do you think you can come by? Dia cakap, wait, which part of Australia you filming? Aku cakap kat Brisbane.
Okay.
He happens to be living there.
Oh.
Kau nampak lah, bro.
dah tersusun
Dia punya coincidences, bro. It's like crazy, bro. Macam mind-boggling, bro.
Wow.
Interesting.
And I met him when I was there for about a day or two.
Nangis.
Tak. Like
No feelings yet lah.
yeah, but he met me, he hugged me, and he's very soft spoken. Tapi muka dia kau tahu macam chain gang biker.
Serious
Dia macam rugged, macam kira beard dia panjang. Habis lepas tu
Oi,
tattoo siau.
serious apa?
Tattoo siau.
Renegade
Tapi dia very soft spoken, bro. Aku kadang-kadang nak kena dekat ni. Can you speak again? Very soft spoken man.
Wow.
Yeah, so he introduced me to his younger sister, his elder brother, my auntie, my uncle lah, and one of my cousin. Yeah, so we had lunch together, got to know them. So apparently he also had a second marriage, which is how I got 2 siblings, half Maori.
Okay.
Nice.
One girl, one boy.
Okay.
Cousin lah kira.
Tak,
Sibling. Angkat.
Half sibling.
tak bukan angkat,
Bukan
half.
angkat.
Sama bapak apa?
Half
It's not even
sibling.
stepfather.
Tiri.
It's not even step brother. It's half brother.
Half
Half
brother.
sister. Pasal kalau step means kau tak ada darah daging.
Yes.
Dia ada darah daging is consider half.
Half, yes.
Oh.
Macam aku
Half
dengan
because
kau.
it's one parent.
Yeah.
Ya, macam aku dengan kau, aku tengok kau macam kau step.
Yang itu juga ah.
I see.
So the coincidences after coincidences, memang aku rasa I've been asking for it, so God gave it to me lah. Yeah.
But why were you asking for it? Like you have never met him.
Because kau imagine every time aku feel a bit out of place. I mean like raya, relative semua kulit Melayu. And then like got one mak saleh celup.
Okay.
You know, so aku always wonder like actually how's my dad? And my mom had good things to say about him lah. You know, it's not like they fought or anything. And so I was curious to know who is this person.
Right.
But after we met, when I got back, then dia macam dah tak reply sangat tau. So I got in touch with my auntie kan.
Yeah.
So my auntie told me like he's like that even to his kids yang the other side. Apparently he has this habit of self-imposed punya guilt lah. Macam dia rasa dia tak deserve, you know, to meet his kids because he never get to bring them up.
Okay.
So dia macam isolate himself from, even he's living somewhere yang very ulu bro. Like kira away from people. He doesn't, dia punya phone is not even smartphone bro.
Oh my god,
dia
brick phone.
Brick phone
tak
lah.
tahu lah bro, but dia macam very small phone yang macam Nokia macam kau tahu tak? So he's really like macam that kind of person lah. I think memang dia rasa dia not worthy, so dia buat sendiri lah. But aku spoke to my half sibling pun dekat Facebook. Diorang cakap memang susah nak get him to reply.
Okay.
So okay lah, let it be lah.
Tapi dia ada WhatsApp lah.
Tak ada bro.
Tak ada, is
Brick phone lah.
Mana ada WhatsApp bro.
That's why just now the conversation we had about brick phone
Yeah.
it's meant for people like
that.
Yeah, your dad.
But then the market, okay tak apa.
Itu nanti je cerita lah. Okay, but overall, like if let's say right now he's in front of you right now, right? How would you tell him that, you know, don't feel guilty because we are here for you no matter what. We are still flesh and blood. How would you relay that message to him?
Aku tak ada time lah nak layan ni semua bro. Padahal aku macam fucking grow a pair lah. You know, like make up for lost time lah. Nobody is making you feel guilty what. It's not
That's
like we
true,
like,
that's
you were not there. We're not making you feel bad. You want to self-impose, you deal with it lah. I did my part already, you know.
Yeah.
I did my part.
Initiative
like okay lah. But if you want to beat yourself up for it, tu kau punya pasal lah.
Yalah, buang masa.
I mean apa? Aku nak kena hadap apa sah?
But at the same time, right now he's still half paralyzed.
No.
Oh, no longer.
recovery dia.
Okay lah.
Okay.
Cuma of course he's not as strong as before because of the but he can walk, you know. He's doing labor job lah, odd jobs.
Because if he's half paralyzed, I can understand the mentality behind that.
Dia tak bro. Dia tak.
Okay.
Macam mana aku nak understand?
Aku pun tak tahu.
So aku macam lantak kau lah. Kau nak pandai-pandai lah. I mean, now in the world of digital, I'm already connected with my half sibling, with your sister. Kau nak cari aku is at your fingertips lah.
Yep.
But if you're not gonna do it, then so be it lor.
Okay. So we go back about because you started your acting career quite early. Kau berapa belas tahun that time?
2021.
That was
Right after
Anugerah
NS.
screen, right? Yeah.
Right after NS.
That's when I met you.
Yeah, but aku didn't recall yang aku met kau until you reminded me.
Okay. Tak
You
apa,
non-existent
aku kan orang selalu lupakan aku.
Because he's not really he's not as chatty as this. Dia kalau tak kenal orang sangat, he like a bit distant.
Yeah. I was quite quiet last time.
So how to remember?
Yalah.
I was only loud in poly. That's how I made.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Aku ingatkan kau started your acting career when you were in your teens. Because bila kau act dalam cerita Anak Metro kan,
Bara.
Anak Metro.
lah.
Anak Metro kan. I thought that you were like some teenager acting in that show.
Mungkin pasal aku skinny, so aku nampak.
Yeah, last time you were skinny.
You can pull off a teenager look lah, senang cakap.
Bro, I still pull off a teenage look kat Malaysia. I stayed there when I was 24, 25 to all the way to 30, 31 now.
Okay.
I think 32 at most lah. I was 29, I was still playing a 16-year-old boy.
Wow.
Serious
But I had to lose shitloads of weight at that time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Aku rasa pasal rambut juga Rambut.
Ada chan.
Everything.
With uniform, rambut kau gini, aku rasa nampak macam school
Boy
lah.
sikit lah. Boy sikit.
Nampak macam sec 5 lah tapi.
Like fine. Senior.
Kita dah abang-abang, kita dah
Selat panjang
They probably ask you to lose the goatee lah.
Yeah. So that time I had to lose weight so fast in a short time bro. So aku just went on a intermittent fasting but long hours ni.
Autophagy ni. Just now we talk about it.
Because I don't have anything. I don't have a lot to lose. I just have to look skinnier so I will look like a teenage boy.
Right.
Okay, but why you started to pursue acting?
Oh, actually it's by chance.
By chance kan? Yeah.
Because my best friend, he wants to pursue acting.
Okay.
So dia suruh aku teman lah pergi Anugerah Screen. But apparently you need to sign up, then you can teman kat dalam.
Oh, okay.
So aku macam okay lah, aku pergi sana, aku sign up sekali lah.
Okay.
So part of me was hoping that pasal dia ada 2 bilik for audition.
Okay.
And he went in the queue first mah. I was at the other side lah.
Yeah.
So I was thinking like, okay, kalau dia habis duluan, kita terus siam lah.
Okay.
But aku punya queue got caught first.
I see.
You know, so dapat lepas. And like long story short, 2 months later, 3 months later, I was the winner. I didn't like want to pursue acting pun.
Okay.
I fell in love with acting after I started acting.
Okay.
Yeah.
But did your friend get through?
Only for 1 round, I think so. I can't remember.
How does he feel?
Kau rasa guilty tak that you went through?
Tak, tapi dia rasa sort pasal dia kena komen. One of the judges cakap, awak berlakon bagus tapi awak arkarat.
Oh, okay.
So dia sort gila. Dia macam like, ya apa lah.
Wah, sedih lah gitu.
Yalah, but I mean he's okay. It's not like he's so hard up for it pun.
Okay lah. Kira nak just try luck lah. Kalau dapat kira okay lah kan. Okay. You fell in love with acting after you
went into acting.
You went into acting. Was it like the first few shoots you fall in love with it, atau after you complete the series ke macam mana?
No lah, actually it's more during the anugerah screen process.
Okay.
Aku was very kayu throughout the tournament. I only performed on the finals. Yeah, it was so bad that people were saying that why is this guy still in another episode? Why is he still like dapat lepas lah? Then like even budak-budak like Za, all this, they knew. They somehow knew like, alah, because you got appearance so you will go far lah.
So would you agree with what Nazrin said earlier? 50% of the battle won already.
No, but I cannot admit to that because I don't feel like I'm good looking. I don't feel like I'm a good looking.
But external validation,
I mean,
said so.
I don't know lah. I guess so.
Yeah. Okay, so it was during Anugerah Screen that you feel like actually this can be a viable career.
Yeah, and of course after you enter the industry, you start to understand how you earn as an actor. And aku very practical. Aku tengok dia punya work to pay ratio macam best.
Oh, is it?
I mean, you're not earning like a multi-millionaire like Hollywood. Tapi okay lah, when you become a certain stage, if you reach like macam level dah bertahun-tahun acting, okay lah, you work. Satu hari shoot you can get maybe $700-800.
Oh, is it?
Kalau depends lah kalau
Even
kau
roles,
one-off character. Tapi kalau kau macam series right, maybe you can get 1,500 to 2,000 per episode. So 2 months you shoot 8 episode, you get okay lah. I mean, and the work a lot of waiting rather than a lot of effort. You know, so a lot of waiting for the setup, for your scenes, salin baju. So I feel like best lah kerja gini. You know.
Aku nak get into a controversial kind of conversation.
Shoot, bro.
Do you think the media industry is biased because every single year we see the same faces over and over and over again?
Okay, this thing.
And how do you feel about that?
Okay, I mean, there were phases where people who understand the media industry, because you have to understand it's monopolized.
Yeah.
It is one channel for Malays, one channel for Channel 5, you know. So sometimes it's not about whether you're talented or not. Sometimes it's about whether you get along well with people inside.
Okay.
Yeah, and aku the kind yang I like, if we vibe lah.
Yeah.
If we don't vibe, I'm not gonna pretend, but I'm not gonna be rude to you lah kan. So some people would say kau kena pandai PR. Some people would say kau kena pandai bodek. It's a matter of perspective lah. And aku the kind yang
tak suka bodek lah.
Aku tak boleh pretend lah. Kalau aku boleh get along kau, I'm just gonna get along lah. You know? Why I want to pretend? I don't want to make use of a person just because aku tahu he can get me jobs, aku rapat dengan dia. I don't have that kind of nature.
So senang kata
So basically,
senang kata,
if you see the people always appeering,
banyak bodek lah.
No, it could be they have no intention pun.
Okay.
It could be they are just liked by the people inside. You know? Yeah. And aku can be quite blunt with my words, even though I mean no harm.
Yeah.
But maybe a bit of exposure, I would say. I don't know lah kan. But I tend to offend people even without trying.
Okay.
Because I'm very blunt. I'm very straightforward. Aku tak suka nak kena berbunga-bunga just to get to the point. I want to get to point A and be the most efficient way kan. And in the Asian culture, that can be seen as tak ada adab. So I guess that's one problem I had at first.
Okay.
Yeah, then aku tengok macam okay lah, but starting I was doing alright. Starting I was also at one point of time aku pun tak habis-habis muka aku juga. Yeah, but I think along the years, like I said, aku tak rajin nak PR sangat. Maybe I do hear from people that the people inside don't quite like me for certain reason. Which
Really?
I don't know. Yeah. No,
because kalau terlalu handsome gini.
Word spreads very fast lah.
Yeah, because I mean the thing is we can only speculate. Until now I don't know if it's true, but there are people who owns production houses. They will say things like, asal nama kau saya tak lepas ni?
Tak lepas meaning?
Like, because you see, a lot of people assume production house get to choose who they want.
Okay.
But the final say still belongs to the TV station. So sometimes as the producer, you already envision, ni kalau Erwin kena. But if TV station tak approve, kau tak lepas.
Which is the M. Is it?
The M.
Mediacorp.
Yeah. Basically Surya or Mediacorp. Because they have the panel of people who will decide what's best for the channel.
The decision maker lah.
Yeah, so it could be either they genuinely think I don't fit the role, even though they are not the creators of that drama, which is quite ironic.
Okay, or
Or
jealous.
they just don't fancy me lah. They just don't fancy me.
Wow.
It could be. I'm not so sure. The thing at the end of the day, aku cuma boleh assume.
Yeah.
You know, so rather than I be bitter about it, aku just pack my bag, move to Malaysia.
Yeah.
Why I want to fight it?
Yeah.
You know,
Where you get quite a number of jobs
bro,
also
from
over
day
there.
one, alhamdulillah, aku tak pernah tak ada job kat Malaysia.
Wow.
Yeah,
Awesome.
it wasn't as difficult. So this is something which aku want to it's a teachable moment.
Okay.
So
Go
you
on.
see, like before I went there, this was the time where Aaron was peaking.
Yes,
He was the
I
abang
remember.
Aaron, you know, like he's the hot stuff. He was
KL
number
Jerit
one. Even all the way from Kia Majid to Kia Gangster all the way. It was him back to back. Ombak Rindu.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh yes.
So he was like a Singaporean who made it big. He was bigger than any Malaysian star itself.
That's
you know?
true. Yeah.
And I was thinking, he could make it. And then there was Adi Putra, then Shah Iskandar been there, and Hisham Hamid started to also start to go there kan.
Yeah.
So aku macam, how difficult can that be? But the thing is, I have to be real juga. I'm not known to be a good actor at that point of time. I had to earn my reputation along the years. You know, from kayu to tak kayu lah. You know, so aku speak to certain established actors who won awards in Singapore. I'm not going to mention names because it's not a downgrading thing. It's just it is what it is lah. So I spoke to them for advice. You know, and these big names, they would say things like macam, abang dah try, tak senang dek. Like, abang dah try, diorang lain sikit kat sana, you know. And normal people, they would start to fikir, wah kalau award winner ada susah kan, macam mana aku you know. But I wasn't like that.
Yeah.
To me it's like, but if they could do it, then it hit me lah. When you want to pursue certain success, right, you have to ask the people who know how to do it lah.
They have done it.
Yeah.
Not those that.
Yeah, those who fail or tried and they didn't make it, no matter how good they are. That means they don't know the formula.
Exactly.
So the teacher moment is this: when you want to be something, don't just ask any random Tom, Dick, or Harry.
Yes.
Like for example, kita orang Melayu, standard orang Melayu kalau let's say kita nak buat business, we will talk to our friends or
Members.
family. Okay? Of course, they would mean well, they would say things macam, kawan aku dah try susah. You know, nanti rugi duit.
Negative.
But they don't mean it to be negative.
Yeah.
They mean it to protect you.
Good intention lah.
But the problem is, the mistake is on you. Kau pergi tanya orang yang tak pernah make it in that field for what? They don't know better. If you want to make it, you ask the people who have made it. So this is one mistake people tend to do. Dia orang tak tanya orang yang ada that formula. So if you want to make it, you have to be surrounded by the people who have made it. That is why dia orang cakap that you are the byproduct, the average of the 5 people you spend most of the time with. That is why orang kaya campur orang kaya, bukan pasal dia sombong. Pasal they have nothing to benefit from people who don't earn as much as them. So they surround themselves with that peer. So to be successful, you know that 5, you need at least 1 or 2 people that can break you out of that cycle. That vicious cycle. Because kalau you always want to hang out with Makrib, you will be like a Makrib. You can't break out of it. You know, so you have to have a good circle lah. Your environment plays a good part. So aku pula was, I don't know, maybe you can call it cocky, maybe you call it confidence, but pada aku macam, diorang tak boleh make it, why I cannot pula? Itu diorang punya pasal lah. Normal people will be defeated mah. They will be like, dia ni menang award berkali-kali pun tak dapat. You know, but aku macam, let me try lah. No harm trying lah.
No risk, risk taker lah.
And you know for a fact that at one point of time, you want to talk about, people ever went through the whole topic, kalau Adi Putra versus Aaron, Adi acting lagi bagus, tapi Aaron lagi popular. You understand? You know, so but Aaron is not a bad actor mah. He's not a bad actor. But if you're talking about known for the craft, is Abang Adi.
Silat all this.
You know, he has different roles. He will carry it really differently.
Very
you know?
versatile.
So then I started to understand that actually you don't really need to be such an amazing actor to make it. The formula is not the amazing actor part. Then I went to Malaysia. So aku rajin berbual, aku tak malu nak bertanya. So when I got one audition, I got the film, right? The one I told you I went to Australia to shoot. And then I start to know the producers, the assistant producers. So aku kulit tebal lah. I asked like, you have contact for another production house? I can send my CV. before I went to Malaysia itself, aku dah Google all the production houses in Malaysia. Aku mass email, bro.
Wow,
Cool lah. Tapi ada yang tak majority, I think out of 100 maybe 2 je reply.
Okay.
Because you were just starting out over there.
So I might have been acting for 5 years, but when I'm there, I'm a new boy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So when I went there, aku just needed that another 1 or 2 hooks. That okay, you can come down to the office. And kebetulan, because the film I did had Awi and Era, but I was the main character. So and the hype was about, Awi and Era dah lama tak berlakon, now they are back. They are back together acting. Sorry.
Okay, I saw the camera, don't worry.
Yeah. So
Dia orang tak nampak tak item.
So diorang dah start to act balik. Yeah, after decades tau.
Yeah.
So they start to have news coverage lah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So from there dapat tempias lah. You know, even though I was the main, but the focus was on them. Yeah, but aku dapat tempias. Then from there kebetulan got another production house, Zil Production. They were looking for a Arabic looking guy. Yang tengah nak belajar bahasa Melayu, which is this drama called Bencinta.
Okay.
I went to the office, dia punya producer
Tengok
macam a bit nyah lah, you know.
Okay.
Dia macam tengok, tapi dia haji. Dia tengok macam, hang ni boleh berlakon ke? He's very straight up. Aku macam, oh no, alamak, how do I react to this kan? Aku macam, insyaAllah boleh. You know. But it's thanks to him that aku dapat penetrate drama. Because he gave me that prime time slot.
I see.
It was a channel Samarinda, which is 10 PM slot. It's the second or the third prime time lah.
Nice.
So I got that. Aku had to be an Arabic student, but learn how to speak Malay. So I have to do a bit of accent lah. You know? Yeah. And then from there, that drama became a hit. That one Fatah and Fatia made the drama pergi lah. So again, I was the supporting cast, the second lead, whatever you call it. Then I have tempias juga from the film. And from then aku just keep back to back ah. And then I got to know that they actually call me to act because not because aku ni macam Shaizi Sam ke Adi Putra, no. They say that okay, you can act, tapi kerja dengan kau senang. Tak lambat,
Disiplin lah.
tak banyak complain lah, tak banyak macam kalau dorang suruh buat apa buat je. So it's because I'm easy to work with. And dekat sana there's multiple channels. So kalau satu channel tak suka aku pun, there's another channel.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, and sana production house, even though ultimately TV stations still have the final say,
Right.
but production house they tend to be able to justify kenapa kita rasa dia.
They are able to fight for you.
I mean even here also, but
okay.
sana if your production house is a big production house that have back-to-back success, they can just propose and the TV station like okay lah, we trust you.
I think that will make it very hard to turn it down lah.
So alhamdulillah aku had multiple films because of Malaysia punya production. In 7 years I've travelled to like maybe 10 different places.
Wow, from there.
Yeah. So I mean I shoot dekat India, Australia,
That
China.
means their budget also quite good eh?
Not necessarily. Pasal bila kita shoot, the lodging is not really high end. Pasal ringgit, you convert to like, you go Europe. Aku shoot kat Milan, France. You think they can afford to stay 5 star?
of course not.
Cannot lah. So we have to give and take. But we get to travel lah.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
But earning is good.
It's okay because if you are living in Malaysia, even if it's a low 5 figure, you don't convert lah. You stay there, it's comfortable.
Yeah,
Yeah, correct.
Yeah. So I was doing quite well, alhamdulillah. And then COVID happened lah.
Oh, this is before COVID.
So kira kan aku dah tanam that seed. So after 5 to 7 years me being there, the pokok tu dah berbuah. Tapi time aku nak petik tu buah,
Jatuh.
COVID. Because it took me a number of years. Okay, starting I have to accept the rates are budak baru punya rates.
Yes.
Yeah.
After 1 year dia naik sikit, another year naik sikit. Then aku start to get nominated for different categories here and there. So harga dah. Then I come to the point where now I'm like comfortable earning at least 2,000 to 3,000 per episode. And dekat Malaysia you can shoot like 30 episode in 3 months. So you take let's say 1 month you shoot 10 episode. Okay, if I earn 2,000, at least 20,000 ringgit lah. You know, so it's comfortable, right? You know,
It's even comfortable for here so 20,000
yeah, but you have to understand the spending wise, it's as if you're earning 20,000 staying here.
Yeah, of course, of course.
Pasal sana rumah pun 2,000,
Sama,
sini rumah pun 2,000. You know? So it's about there. So over there I'm pretty comfortable lah. But it didn't last because of COVID. Then 2 years lockdown, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it affected. Because aku tak ada long term pass, mine is all project basis. So for me to go there dengan the whole lockdown,
Visa issues lah.
So lama-lama offers start to slow down.
Okay.
But I still have offers at that time. I took up one juga. Aku acted with Zil Production again.
Okay.
You know, and there were still offers lah. But there was one point of time aku rasa macam I think I kind of want to somewhat like 1 foot out of the industry.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, and aku
While COVID.
yeah, and aku gatal pergi announce.
Itulah. I was wondering why did you announce, because you don't have to announce it, right?
Yeah. But I mean, it's okay lah. I think after 2 years, and there's several factors. You know, one factor is seeing that my mom is aging. You know, if anything, I want to be close lah. Apa-apa is accessible, man.
Makes sense.
I mean, because you have to understand, the regret is one of the most painful things to overcome.
Yeah.
Like aku was imagining, if anything were to happen and I can't travel back in time for her last words or what, I would regret, bro.
Yeah.
You know, so I like consider that also one. And second thing also, there was this period where aku start to dive deeper into religion. So sometimes, you know lah, religion ni, it can be quite confusing when you learn from so many different aspects, and then you start to understand, there's Ashairiyah Maturidiyah, there's Salafi, there's this, there's that, there's even Shia, you know. And I got to know that, actually Shia pun, there are certain denomination that is accepted amongst the mainstream Muslim, but we don't know about it.
Yeah.
So, and you start to hear all the different argument. And then aku was starting to, I find that the people who preach about how entertainment can somewhat is a grey area.
Right.
So aku start to macam, ya ke? Like,
Okay.
yeah, lama
Something like music
But music, the argument is very strong.
Yeah.
But for acting pun ada juga. And then being in acting pun, you tend to, sometimes you have to fit in the role. A woman fan, you have to like, okay ke tak, you know. So all these things start to play in my head. Like, do I want to do this or not? Berkat tak? And I wasn't sure. Aku was still like doubtful. And then came the hadith, if there's a grey area, take the safe side.
Yeah.
Which is
So all these factors kan come in at one time. Aku macam, I don't think I want to pursue this, because I don't have peace in my heart. Yeah. So aku decided to 1 foot out.
Yeah.
But I still do take up acting gigs every now and then.
ad hoc lah.
Ad hoc, yeah, because rindu the job.
Yeah,
it's a nice job to have, being an actor. Not because of the fame though. It's just a nice job to have.
But I think you have a sizable portfolio.
Yeah.
If you were to re-announce, guys, I'm open for acting.
For sure.
Zaz, I think your DMs will
just
be...
need to maybe work out for the next 2-3 months, bikin balik, bagi cisuk balik kan. No, because for men, orang punya longevity jauh bro.
40-50 pun boleh.
Yeah. You can peak at 40, you can peak at 35. You don't have to be as young as 20. For women though, they will peak when they're young. For men tak.
Prime
Yeah, because when I was young, when I went to Malaysia, because of the whole young face I have that time, now aku rasa aku dah nampak tua sikit lah.
Tak.
But it's hard. Now it's hard bro. That time it was hard because they say that, and I was quite thin also. So that time was the era of Abang Macho Sharul Rizwan, Aaron Aziz, Zul Arifin, you know. So main characters goes to those kind of people.
Sado.
That was that trend. And on top of that, people don't realise that my kind of look, right, I would sell probably in Indonesia.
Okay.
But kalau hero-hero Melayu kat Malaysia, tetap they want like the Nordin Ahmad generation. Like they want that kind of like Abang Melayu look.
Right.
So I never foresee myself to be an A-list, like that kind of level.
Okay.
Yeah, but like you said, you know, maybe now that I'm more mature, if aku bikin badan, keep a nice image, make my body more fitter, maybe I can if I announce it back. But I don't know if I want that.
Yeah.
Maybe not yet.
Right. I mean, there's always alternatives.
Yeah.
The halal way, you know.
Yeah. So, and another thing also, now there's a bigger factor. Now I'm also married, and I have a child coming.
Alhamdulillah.
And Alhamdulillah. So, the one thing I noticed people who are in the industry would know sometimes it can be challenging for your iman when you are in the entertainment industry. There are so many things that are not out there in the open.
Yes, of
People
course.
that you hear pun korang macam, serious dia pun ada you know.
Oh,
so
man.
many bro. So I was thinking like, okay lah, I can be proud and say I don't think I can be like that. You know, but I'm sure those people also didn't expect to fall into that trap. So I think about it like, I think I value my relationship with my family more, with my wife. That I think it's okay lah, tak payah nak full time for now at least. And I told her lah, if I ever go back into acting, you will be my PA. You follow me everywhere I go. You know, that's the only way I want to make it. If not, aku tak nak.
Okay.
For what? Even though now I don't feel like I want to cheat or whatever, right? But why would I want to put myself in that situation?
Right.
I can't tell the future, and I'm not going to risk it. It's too much to risk for me, because I value what I have.
Okay, so I think one of the things that I took note of, or that people can of course use it as a lesson, is also to show up. Show up, because by showing up you never know, kena tempias tu, that luck might be on your side also. Right. So that said kan, I got one question before we pause the episode for part 2. And just now you mentioned something about the rates. So these rates, right, is it decided by you or by the production side?
You command it?
No, it's something that you just will along the way just understand on its own. Dia macam understood kind of thing.
Okay.
You don't have to create it, but it will come to a point where, like for me, one of the, like when I started, it was like 400 ringgit per episode.
Okay.
And 1 month I only earned like 3,000-4,000 ringgit, which was barely enough to sustain myself. Because I have bills to pay here also. Convert, divide by 3 lah. But I had started that way lah. You know, I have good friends who supported me every now and then when I needed some loan, and they gave me ample time to pay back. You know,
Ada riba
tak ada. So I had a strong support system also. But along the way, suddenly like you learn lah, like this production house, Erwin free tak gini. I cakap free. Some would ask you what's your rate. Some would say kita punya budget ni.
Okay, upfront
So,
lah.
so yang those yang started kita punya budget ni, then aku macam that's way more than what I got. Then aku macam I'm worth that now. I didn't know. Then also I could tend to ask around, like now my rates macam mana pasal I'm now dah berapa lama saya acting kat sini. I have ask around lah.
But so there's a learning curve for to understand your own rates, your own value. Okay.
Yeah. So dia nak kena belajar along the way, and lama-lama you tengok jugalah, aku dah nominated for best newcomer, nominated for best supporting. You know, the more recognition you get, and especially because I got a lot of films at that time. I think I did around 5 or 6 films already.
Nice.
And it's quite rare because ada orang yang dah berlakon drama 10 tahun pun tak dapat film offer. You know, so I had quite ample. So film kind of help you boost up also.
Because film also pays more lah kan?
Not necessarily.
Is it?
Not necessarily.
Really? Those telemovies semua?
Telemovie lain bro. Film is different.
Okay.
I'm talking about cinema.
Cinema punya, okay.
Cinema tak bro. I have gotten as low as a hero. I've gotten as low as 5,000 ringgit.
Oh, as in for the entire
per
show.
movie lah. Which was a 1.5 month new kerja lah.
That was rich.
But at the same time, you don't spend like hours every single day on that
kalau
thing.
kau dah main, you're a lot bro.
Yeah, you have a lot more lines and you need to show up for most of the scenes.
Yeah.
But 1.5 months, that means like the entire
I would say maybe 5 days a week, 6 days a week.
Berapa juga gitu.
Yeah.
Okay.
Tapi makan sponsored lah kan?
Kat Malaysia lah. Malaysia memang makan is sponsored lah.
So that's it, and this is the second part to his question. Singapore and Malaysia, because from what you shared, and then you mentioned about the B-lister, how much they how much you can earn, and then A-lister is so much more. Technically, from what I'm seeing, the Malaysians actually pay more for their entertainment industry as compared to Singapore.
No, it's not that. It's actually lebih kurang.
Is it?
It's just that they got the frequency of job offers. Kalau kat sini
quantity lah.
Maybe sini maybe every 4-5 months you do one project. If you're lucky.
Okay.
Kat sana every month kau ada kerja.
Okay. Consistent lah.
So it's like pay wise, kau imagine kalau aku kat sana maybe 1 month let's say 8 to 10,000 lah. Kat Singapore at my current level, right? If kalau aku, it's about there 8 to 10,000 Pasal per episode I can get 1,500 to 2,000. Yeah, and the monetary value is stronger lagi kat sini. So it's about there.
Okay.
Cuma regularity.
Okay, so tak stable lah.
But if you're a star level, you can get 4,000 per episode. Your film you can get 50 to 100,000.
Jack Neo bukan?
Tu tak as in Malaysia.
Malaysia.
The star level. Pasal A-list tak semestinya, A-list ada tiers juga, ada superstar. At one point of time Syahizi Sam, Madi Putra semua superstar. Zul Arifin is a superstar.
Interesting. I mean, we just know about this, so I think it's a good landing.
Yeah.
Anyone of our audience want to learn about acting,
Acting,
this will be a good
actor,
round up.
Being in the media industry.
But there's a whole shift bro. Like last time zaman Aaron made it that time, the earlier days, I would say more than a decade ago.
Right.
Why you can have a good life is because of ambassadors. Like for example, people pay to own your image.
So brands actually pay and ask you to be an ambassador.
Like even local brands dekat Malaysia, local brands. Like I knew one actress she was getting like a $250,000 for a year punya ambassadorship. You know, but she have then there's commitments lah. You have to attend the events. You have to post certain videos of you taking the product, and there's like how many times a week, you know. But it's considered $250,000. You don't have to shoot for the whole year.
That's
you know,
true.
but you're still acting.
Yeah.
So you're still earning. But now there's no such program. Ada but very rare. Now companies would rather than I spend $250,000 on one person, I can spread that amongst 20-30 influencers.
UGC
And you get more reach. Yeah. So even the influencer market now they nosedive 45% already. That it's not as valuable as back then. Ever since TikTok punya boom, right? Now they are going for I can't remember what's the term for it. Not influencer, the genuine influencer or something like that. Like you really have a certain niche about your content.
Okay,
there's a term for it.
Like basically you're genuine. For example, like I follow this guy who talks about history.
Right.
He will share every episode is about different history on different parts of the world. There another person will talk about tips on marketing. Their whole page is about business and marketing.
You know, yesterday I went to Podfest, right? There's this guy who's actually quite famous. He's a famous influencer, but he has this YouTube channel that precedes his influencer days that is talking about ants. Semut aja. And then he say like because of that ants channel, he got like I think like 40-50 million views in like a short period of time, and then he did because tak ada macam that continuity. So now what he does is he do macam different kind of tanks for the ants, and then like the next episode another tank. So like there's a continuity in his content. Tapi semut.
So that's the thing. That's why they say genuine influencer. You need to influence something that you're really good at. Not just I mean there is also the category for those viners type of people they like to do comedy skits. You still have that. Right. But nowadays they would not just emptily nampak dia ni influencer model banyak followers, they just pump. Dah tak gitu lagi.
Correct.
Okay.
So there's a shift bro. The shift is too fast bro. Aku tak boleh keep up. Until now aku macam like, what should I do for my social media? What do I want to be known for now? I already last time was an actor. Now what? But I cannot lose out on the digital marketing game because that's where everything is now. But aku still haven't decided what I want to do for my social media.
I think that's a good segue for part 2 because you guys want to find out more about what Erwin does and what
he wants to do, he intends to do,
and how Amin was saying about semut, kaki pun dah semut-semut. So we're gonna take a break. See you guys in part 2. Bye bye.
SellingDistrict 65 is here to guide. Find your dream home with them by your side. For the best deals, you'll be in heaven. Call 876-16867.
Hey everyone, this episode is brought to you by the ladies at SellingDistrict 65. I got a question actually, which I think I shared with you all in the WhatsApp group. So it's about the scam. And I mean, you saw, right?
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on it?
Wow, that one, like I say, when I saw the agent that was there, and at one glance I thought it's a legit agent.
Yeah, got the pass all. So this sums up to what Gaby actually shared before.
Yeah, but for me when you showed me, right?
So a bit of context. Can you frame them on what the video is about?
Okay, so the video, this girl with is it boyfriend or her partner lah? Technically her partner lah. So she was looking for a rental apartment to stay in. So they went to the house and so on. Exactly like what Gaby has actually mentioned before. They found this listing on I think Facebook Marketplace. Marketplace, right?
Yeah, correct. Facebook Marketplace.
Yeah, and then after that they decide to go and so on, and they actually put a down payment and so on. But then they realized that it was a scam.
Yeah.
So the second time also the same. So technically that's the whole
total
context.
6K that person was scammed.
Yes, 6K is not.
Yeah, that's why. It's my 2 months income.
To be honest with you, when you first showed me that picture, right? At one glance, I already know that it's fake because we all as agents, we are agents, so we can know lah how the picture is supposed to be like.
Yeah, I don't deny. I'm sure they are very convincing.
It's convincing.
If not, I mean, why would anybody transfer just like 6,000 like that? I'm sure it's convincing. After all, now in this modern gen, it's quite easy to fake documents.
Yeah.
So this is why it's not that agents want to makan your duit lah, makan your money lah. Because we've also heard this around from people that they feel like agents just want money. But behind closed doors, you know, we don't tell you the things that we go through. That's the reason why you pay us, is so that things go smooth.
Yeah.
You know, so this is how we know of things. You know, as agents also, we cannot be complacent when we bring our clients for viewings, or be it rental, buying or selling. We have to check. And these are the conversations that we have with the other party where owners don't know, because it's not their duty. You paid us, right? So when we bring you to these places, which personally me and Darla have personally encountered yes, and met them, during our rental time. We caught
As in the
quick.
same people in the video?
No.
Okay.
No, but I believe they are a syndicate.
But I saw the video, right? Everything looks like so legit, eh?
Correct.
But
That's why I say.
I mean, you shared the telltale signs before.
Yeah.
But how can like regular people even know? Like even we see like, hey, wow, this one like legit.
If I were to tell you in detail how they do it, other people are going to watch the video and do it.
Do it. Okay.
Yes, because it's not exactly difficult to do this. But that's why I say it's not that I don't want to share so that the viewers have to hire agent to go and do the transaction. No, if you are smart, you know how to do it, good for you.
Okay.
But if I were to share this, the scammers will take advantage of how to scam
better.
because it's not because it's not as difficult as it seems. Honestly, anybody here can do it.
I think the only giveaway for me was her pass.
Correct.
It wasn't as doesn't look as real or legit as the real ones.
This is why wearing a pass is very important. CEA has actually
don't wear a pass.
It's a mandatory, right?
It's mandatory. You can be, if you cannot caught or people complain, you are liable to 6 months up to 6 months imprisonment and 10K fine.
And my fellow agents out there also, sometimes we all also when go viewing, sometimes we forget to use, inside the car or rushing from another appointment, suddenly got viewing, you know, and then hustle lah, so run to the viewing, forget the pass. That's fine. But when your other fellow agent come and say, hey sister, can I see your pass? Please don't take offense. It's very annoying for us. You know, because you will assume that, why you want to see my pass? For what? No, we cannot, you know, but I need to check.
Verify.
Yeah, I need to verify and check on behalf of my clients. But I'm agent. I'm agent for 30 plus years. So I also can say I agent 30 plus years. But where's the proof? I need to check. I need to see. You also can be some random person that found a pass on the bloody street and then just use it and then say, I'm agent, and then conduct your scam.
Doctor the pass a bit, change my face.
If people can do fake IDs, what more our?
So
pass?
I think I know one way that this can be resolved. Is if their pass is in SingPass.
That's a good idea also. That's a good idea.
That's the best way.
That's a very good idea.
SingPass.
So this one, whoever the person in charge of this must do your work lah.
Yes.
Not my job I don't get paid.
Buying, selling, rental, all got scam. Must be very careful, and that is the duty of the agent that you are paying.
Okay, so that's the thing. Because our understanding is when we want to rent a place, I think 1 month deposit or whatsoever is kind of like the salary for the agent, right?
Yes.
The commission.
Not necessarily, depends. Okay.
The rectification of the house.
Okay.
Because the tenants want this, they want to put requests. So they need that security deposit to prepare for the incoming tenants.
Okay.
Sometimes the what is that called, to pay the comp for the landlord's agent comes later, is their own plan, right?
Arrangement.
It can be after the lease ends also, you know, not necessarily at the start. Correct.
So my question is actually like you mentioned landlord agent, right? So if let's say I'm the one who wants to rent the place, should I also engage an agent?
Best, you should, because you didn't know the landlord's agent and the landlord is a scammer.
Okay.
So they plot all this. So you will have another shield to check for you.
Okay.
Yeah, you consider have your own agent to protect you in your interest.
So like that, who is going to pay my agent?
You pay your
You
agent.
pay your agent.
So that means I pay my agent and then the landlord also pay their
Pay
agent.
his agent lah.
Oh, okay.
Then
A lot of-
agent and agent will liaise with each other. So
And it's better.
It's better that way.
Okay. And then another thing to agents out there, please don't argue lah. We all out there to
Cari makan.
facilitate our landlord, our buyer, seller, our tenants and all that. You know, when we work together, we know the wants and don't wants of each party. So, you know, when we liaise with each other, we should be very friendly and nice to each other. We have also encountered some that want to argue about everything. You know, when for a fact that tenant aku baik sih. You know, my tenant is a very nice person. Why are you even arguing with me in the first place? You should know what. And you should be aware as a 20-plus-year-old otai agent, you should be aware that you could have gotten worse tenants. No? Some tenants scam also. So this is a two-way street. You can get those who scam you. You can also scam them back in return. Yeah, but yes, you should hire an agent. Like I said, this is really not about money. But would you rather lose your $6,000 to an agent that's actually, you know, facilitating for you the entire process of the rental from start to end? Okay, or you want to pay 6K to a scammer and then just disappear.
And at least the former, you are kind of like guaranteed a house.
Yes, correct. And yeah, you're paying slightly more, but you are safe. And throughout your entire lease, you are liaising with your agent who is on your side. Everything. Hey sister, the microwave spoil You know, it's been how this and that. And some agents this is the truth. Some agents we replace for you your microwave, you know.
Oh, really?
Yes, because we don't want to go through that hassle. Why? Because landlord agent already tell us, hey, my landlord is not easy. And you'll be surprised, some landlord agent, how about me and you, we share. How much is a microwave? $100. Okay, we split.
Really?
Yes.
So your tenants really like the unit. And then the landlord side already inform us, okay, no request, okay? Take as it is. And when you have that rapport with your tenants, right, you are willingly buy for them what they want. So it depends.
Small
what
items
kind.
okay lah.
Yeah.
Also when we buy, we also don't really give %. We find a good condition second one or something, as long as usable.
Yeah, like
Can
65-inch TV or something.
Eh, wow.
You find agents like us, we pin for you and all, you know, because some really kesian, no, not trying to give us some credit lah, but really, we've met some very nice one, first time in Singapore, Malaysians coming here to work, everything's expensive. Then we go inside the house, they say, okay lah, I just take this house because, you know, it's
cheap.
It's
It's empty.
And then we look at each other and say, okay lah, you know what, I'm just going to help you paint out of my own pocket money. I come at 2-3 in the morning, I paint, me and her. We fix the bunk bed together also, you know, just for them.
Wow, really?
And to be honest, sometimes we don't even get a thank you, no. And
They don't know because we don't advertise your good. You don't advertise your good deeds.
Yeah.
See, so it's just hoping that, you know what, I'm just going to do this our
like
goodwill.
buy and sell.
Yeah.
The house has to be vacated, okay, and clean when a new person take over. Wanti, myself, Darla, clean up the house. But it cannot be when our buyer come, we tell right, we clean the house. Later people say, oh, this agent want credit. But we spend the whole day cleaning the house, mopping, buying our own things, wiping this, wiping that, cleaning for you, scrubbing the toilet bowl when it's not our duty, but we do it, you know.
Bowl some more.
But it cannot be we tell you, right? Paiseh,
Okay,
if we tell
understand.
you also like as if you want some credit. Then later people say tak tahu malu saya.
But at least now I mean know when you get a house who to get to fix the bunk bed lah.
Yes.
For his 2 girls right.
Yeah. Got 3, I think triple.
Oh not 3 sorry bro.
So we do go out of our way to do a lot of things. A lot of things. Sometimes we get screamed at by those sellers or buyers or landlord agent or tenant agent, whoever, screamed at. Sometimes we get screamed at. But all our clients do know. We're not supposed to tell you. You paid for stress free. Here and there, of course, you stress lah, right? Money come out, who not stress?
Yeah.
But our duty is to facilitate the thing smoothly. So we take in everything, all this stress. I cried, and I'm the sort of person who never cry for some of my deals because it's very stressful. So yeah, so when of course we hear things like, oh, is it even worth it to pay agents?
But sometimes I feel like they don't know. It's from the start of the process to the end. It takes months. It's not weeks.
Yeah.
It can be up to 6 months. So you take that amount that you pay us. You divide by the 6 months. It's actually how much only lah. Actually,
If
so that's why we have to hustle.
3,000 divided by 6 months.
The thing with landlord agents sorry, not landlord agents. With the thing with landlords, not agents. Okay, landlords. You pay 1 year. Sometimes nowadays I heard they increase lah. Even 1 year, they take 1 month, right? But let's say you take half a month for 1 year TA. Okay, your TA, your 1 month rental, let's say 3,000. You pay 1,500 to Gaby, for example.
Yeah.
Wow, Gaby is working for the next 1 year.
Yeah, that's true. So
Because
that's like
every
$100
single
a month.
problem will look for Gaby.
Correct.
Toilet choke also will look for Gaby.
Especially our landlords who are overseas. You really give us a hell of a time. And then you expect us to turn up every month to check on the house. And then when you divide that 1,500, it's like
By right,
$100.
that 1,500 is only until the thing is signed, finish and done.
By right,
So everything else is an extra service. So 1,500 for a year, you divide it by 12 months. How much you need is a gaji? Is it even worth it or not? That people don't see it, you see. Yeah.
There's no like property management company in Singapore.
There are, but they don't want to pay.
And then also you will
we offer sometimes. I have one unit, but don't have the extra.
But you will also get some tenants, for example, pay me agent fees. Okay, say for example $3,000. Pay me agent fees for a lease of 2 years. 2 years, the tenant keep quiet. Landlord also keep quiet, no problem. And then this thing comes up, no problem. End up the house no problem. I pay you for what? I only talk to you at the start and at the end. Then my question is, so you want a problem? So do you want a problem? So my fees are only worth it when there is a problem. Then it doesn't make sense, what? Right? It doesn't make sense, what? But how you know?
Maybe they see it that way. That I take this agent, but no problem.
Yes, but you don't realise that when the landlord comes in and then say liaise with me directly. Sis, this wall a bit moldy. And then I text, of course it's moldy because this, you know, we are humid and all that. All these arguments you don't see, you just assume and deem that worth it meh, pay 3K, got no problem. Behind closed doors, I'm arguing about mold and humidity. I'm a weather forecast guy. Suddenly, humidity last week has been sunny and raining. It's condensation and all that. They don't know.
You're talking about this like it's happened before out of experience.
It has
really happened?
It has, and it's still ongoing. So these things always occur. When there is a problem and the problem doesn't fall, say tenant pay us, and then tenant pay us, and then after that there's a problem with the landlord. But end up landlord win. Okay, win the case. You're not good enough. I pay you for what? I pay you for us to win. But winning is not about paying also. We are trying to
lawyer.
I was just going to say that. They want to get lawyer lah.
Yeah, we are trying to argue for you. So sometimes as proof I have to screenshot, record our conversation, this and that, just to prove that we are arguing for them. Then they will become, oh, you are arguing for me. We are lah. But if you expect us to record every WhatsApp
keep updating
convo,
you also,
it's annoying, right? So of course we are. But some things really the tenants for they just want their money back. And then
but not all. She had experience recently with a very good landlord, although her tenants were the one giving problems.
Okay, pause. I think this one we can put it in the next part.
Part 2.
Part 2. Can?
Right. See you later.
See you later. Bye.